Welcome back to the podcast, New Birth Fitness Family. My name is Charlotte Bryant. This is my wife.
Danny.
So the topic I want to cover today is seeing the value of where you are right now. And that's something that's big for everybody, but especially moms. You guys have so many skills that you have, but kind of undervaluing how much you're really able to impact others.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a situation last night that kind of spoke to me. A mom posted about somebody else, right? There's a guy at this drive-thru where he has really good customer service, right? She went through the drive-thru asking for chicken nuggets for her kid. And what ended up happening is, just very polite. Oh, thank you so much. You have a nice day. Just being very attentive to detail is what he's doing. And at the very end, it just left her with a feeling of, wow, that's amazing customer service. To the point she did a social media post and she kind of just said, this is what I said, this is what he said. And you see the comments, and she didn't give a name of the person at all. And then underneath, it's like, that had to be Roger. That had to be Roger. Roger's the best. I only go to Wendy's for Roger. And you see this literally no less than like 40 something comments of the person's name without her mentioning a name or knowing his name at all.
Mm-hmm.
And that spoke to me because it's like, even in it's fast food industry. So somebody's like, well, I work in fast food. What can I really do? Or they're just kind of going through emotion. Like, I don't really want to be here. Why is this even important? But there are certain skills that you're still learning that can take you to the next level in life, whether that's your customer service. Maybe it's dealing with your patience. Maybe it's dealing with leadership. Yeah. You can learn different things no matter what position or job you're in right now that you might not like at all right now, but it can benefit you later if you look at it in a way of, what am I learning at this time? What is this? Even the system of the job. They have this amount of fries they put in the basket. They have this amount of employees. Like everything, you can look at even the little details and learn, how would I apply this to my own business?
So I think a big part of that is also staying true to who you are. Like, what are the things that certain people, or what are the things that people know you for? What are the things that stand out in your personality, in your character, that they know, oh, this person is always happy, they're always positive, they're always smiling. And on the flip side of that, there's certain things that you could be characterized for that are not so positive.
Exactly.
They're always angry, they're always in a mood, they're always giving people faces, they're so rude. So it's more about, what do you want to be known for?
Mm-hmm.
What is the brand that you're putting out there? What are the things that you want people to remember you for? Because you may not know it, but every single day that you put yourself out there, you're creating a brand for yourself, whether that is in your business, in your personal life, and in your marriage. How are people looking at you? Are you a person that, everybody knows you're married? Are you approachable? Not approachable? These are all things that come into play, and how you show up to other people is highly important if you ever decide that you're going to have a business, if you ever decide that you're going to be, in the public eye. People need to know what you stand for and what is true to you.
Even in the small details, like you might be like, oh, I told this person I'd be here at this time, and it's okay if I'm 10 minutes late, right? Or it's okay if I told a small little lie, it'll be okay, it's not that big of a deal. But really, in that other person's mind, you're creating a viewpoint of how they're looking at you. And when you do that with enough people, everybody's like, oh yeah, that person did that to me too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yep, that's that same stuff they do. And what happens is you don't realize that you're missing out on opportunities you could have got, because when you're in those other rooms where maybe somebody could have said something good about you or promoted your business or your overall character, now they're saying the negative impacting things, which makes people not even want to work with you.
Right. And if you're having a hard time figuring out what is your personal brand, maybe an exercise that you can do is actually asking people, when you think about me, what am I known for? What do you think about? What are the first things that come to mind? So I remember going to, a mentorship event, and it was all about your brand and how you put yourself out there. And I remember doing the exercise and just being shocked at what people were saying. What are the first things that they think about when they think about me? So I think that it's a very powerful exercise, because sometimes we may not realize that we have certain qualities that make people gravitate towards us.
Yep.
And we can definitely use those qualities. So really ask yourself, and if you don't know, ask somebody to help you figure out What are those key things that you're known for? And if there is something that is negative that you want to change, this is the time to get started on, working on those
Yeah,
things.
because there's two sides of that same coin. Even if you're a person that you feel like you're self-aware and you just know who you are and how you show up to people, you might be surprised that what you think is what everybody else gets is two different things. Maybe you're like, I'm a person that's always helping others. I'm always showing up on time. And for you, you're looking at things in this way, and people are like, if you ask them honestly, they might have a completely different take. So even if you're a person that's self-aware and you think you got it all together, it's better to still get honest feedback. And you want to approach it even in a way of, look, I'm not going to feel any type of way. Tell me your complete, honest truth of when you think of me, what things come to mind. Because if you don't do that, then people still kind of sugarcoat it and don't take it seriously, even setting it up in that way.
Going back to what you said about this particular worker and the attention to detail that he has and, how he functions in his everyday job.
Yep.
I don't want to breeze past what you touched on, which is using the things that you may not like in this very moment. Let's say that you're working as a waitress, but the things that you're doing in this very moment that you don't like could be preparing you for the things that are really in store for you later on, that you're going to really love, appreciate, and that are going to make you very successful.
In many cases, if you don't appreciate what you have now, you don't even get a chance to get to the better part later.
Mm-hmm.
Because think about it, right? Let's say because of how nice he was at the drive-thru and how many people he impacted. I've seen this same post shared multiple times by multiple people speaking to how he made them feel. How do you know there's not somebody that goes to the drive-thru because of how you made them feel? They give you an opportunity that you would have never had otherwise. Because of you doing your job that you may not like right now, but you're doing it to the best of your abilities and making people feel good, now you might get an opportunity. Now, of course, you're not doing it for that reason, but when you're pouring to people in that kind of way, it makes them want to help you. It makes them want to see you in a better situation. So you have a higher likelihood of going to the next level at a faster rate.
Yeah, and I love what you said there because you're not able to receive something that you're not willing to give. That's just how it works. So even when you're saying, are you the type of person that can help somebody feel good? Or are you the type of person that, even with your energy or how you're radiating towards other people, how they feel? Because I remember at first when there were certain superpowers that I didn't realize that I had, when we first started talking. And it's just like, do you realize that every time that you come in a
That's
room,
exactly what I'm about to say.
people light up,
Yep.
that they're always complimenting you
Yep.
and they're always telling you how beautiful you are, how nice, how sweet. And it's something that I did not see in myself until you started pointing it out.
So every single time you walk in a room, the whole vibe, the whole everything changes.
Yeah.
Even if we're in a room full of 100 people, 500 people, and you'll ask a question, and you'll just come from your way of looking at things, and then you see how every other question that comes after that, everybody's on a completely different energy after your question versus before your question or before what you had to say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's those little things like, are you the person that when you come into the room, do you just zap the energy out of the room? Or if you're like, oh
Here
my
comes
God,
again.
here they come again. Or your person like, wow, I'm so glad to see them. I know when they're here, I feel better. You don't want to be the other person because you're going to miss out on a lot of things by being that person. So even when you're in a job or something you do not like, show up in the best way you possibly can because it's not really showing a poor reflection of the job itself. It's showing a poor reflection of you.
Yeah.
And that's going to travel with you from here to the next location to the next location. And then you'll say, why am I stuck in this place where I'm at right now? It's because you're not treating the situation you're in right now with the right gratitude. You got to treat the situation you're in right now with the right gratitude and doing that in the fullest to now use that as a stepping stone to get to the next level.
I don't think people understand how powerful that really is.
Yep.
How powerful gratitude and showing up in a way that you're grateful for everything, even the bad things that may be happening. There's something good that comes out of them. But if you're only willing to go through the process, wait and see what that good thing is, having gratitude throughout is going to allow you to see why you went through certain things. So it's a superpower that people don't know that they can tap into.
Because of him going above and beyond, that creates a post that gets shared multiple times, over 40 comments, and now we're doing a podcast episode because of him going the extra mile versus doing what everybody else does. And who's to say how much further it goes even after that because of this? So don't look at, oh, me saying thank you or making a person feel good and treating it like that's a small thing. You have no idea what impact that has on the person you're talking to. Maybe their day was going very bad. Everything was flipped upside down, but because of how you made them feel, now they took that and it changed their whole day. It changed their whole week, changed their whole month. Maybe it changed their life, depending on the situation.
Yeah. Even for you and your personal brand, I know that a lot of people, whether they know you or they don't know you, you have a certain posture about yourself that demands attention and respect.
Mm-hmm.
So there's certain things that you can work on because those things are as simple as how you're speaking to people, how you're showing up, how you're standing, how you're talking to them. And I remember at first you're like, I'm a person that I always look people in the eye. I always talk to them and I always want to feel what their energy is like
Yep.
and go based off of that, like how kind of like reading a person.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that for me stuck out about you because it was something that I did with everybody was try to read their energy. And I think that people can appreciate that because when you do that, you're catering to their needs
Yep.
and the things that they have going on that maybe nobody could have seen through. So we all have that specific thing that everybody can identify us with.
Yeah, man. Some of the things you do actually, they make you better. For example, I've never been a person that had amazing patience. Like, I'm like, if I'm showing up in this way, I'm expecting the other person to show up in this way. And that's not always the case. So even when it comes to, hey, I said I'm going to be here at this time, I want to be there at that time. So even when it came to originally training people, you got to imagine when you're starting with somebody who've never worked out before in their life at all, it's not going to be easy for them. It's going to take time for them to get to a place to where they can do the form properly, where they can eat properly. So you have to be patient with them. In a way, it's like you're talking to a kid because you're starting at the foundational stages. And I've been doing it for a long time. So you can easily just start talking at them,
Yep.
talking at them with information, and nothing is really sinking in because you're talking above where they're at the moment. So I had to it really made my patience so much better starting with people and saying, hey, we're doing this first. And it doesn't matter how many times they get it wrong. Even if they get it wrong for 2 weeks straight, I know that they're going to be so much better and they're going to feel so much better about themselves when they can do it. You can see the light go off in people's eyes like, what? I just did that? And then when they're seeing videos of what they used to look like versus what they're doing now, you can see like, wow, I feel so much better about
Yeah.
myself.
And just touching on that, I think that you have the ability to instill belief in people that don't have belief in themselves. Because that's definitely what you did with me. But so many people, they don't stay, training with you because of the actual training. It's about what you help them and allow them to see about themselves with, yes, the physical, but also the mindset, the emotional, even financial things that you have been able to help people with. So I think that that is your superpower and something that a lot of people know you for is helping them to see themselves for who they really are.
And that's crazy you say that because it wasn't until about 3 months ago when that finally really clicked for me, where I was like, the best thing I can do for anybody is give them my belief until they finally have the belief. I like almost spark their belief. They take that belief and they go running with it. And now that spirals to somebody else for them to encourage and give somebody else belief. But I've been doing it all along, but not really recognizing that that's really what's happening. Because I don't train people in the way of, I'm going to tell you just enough so you got to stick with me forever, right? There's people that do that, but that's not me. I want to give you all the tools and everything you need from top to bottom so that you could literally say, I don't need you anymore at all, right? So when you say people stick around for the belief, I can understand that and it makes sense, but it didn't really click until
Yeah,
before.
because there's people that have been working with you for
Mm-hmm.
years. It's not like they don't
Mm-hmm. Yep.
know what they're doing at this
100%.
point. They could go and work out by themselves, but they still come back to you because of that belief, because of that motivation. And making them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because I think that is something that you're very blunt with how you let people know the things that they need to work on and fix. So I think that people can appreciate that. And you never do it in a rude way. You never do it in a way to put anybody down. You never do it in a way that, makes people feel bad about themselves, but in a way where they can reflect on what you're actually saying. And most of the time we're like, dang,
I hate this
right. He's
man,
right.
but
He's right.
yeah, because I think they can tell it's coming from a good place. Like I
Yes.
want to see them actually get better.
Yeah.
I don't want them to see living below what is really possible.
Yeah,
for
and
them.
I think for both of us, it's something that we have connected with as well because I also love to help people and I love to be able to give them a belief in certain things that they didn't know they could do and confidence. So I think that that's why we both work because we want to see the best in people. We want to help them and we want them to reach their full potential, whether it's with us in the picture or without us. We want people to take the knowledge that we're able to give them, even if it's free. There's people that have gotten free information from us that has changed their life.
Yeah, I love that. Like some people look at, oh, this person used to work out with me and now they're really doing it by themselves. No, that's the ultimate compliment that you went from, I know you didn't know how to lift a single weight at all. You didn't have any confidence at all. And now you're over here still getting results based on the information you learned. That's like the ultimate compliment, And then with you, like you mentioned about me with putting the belief in others and making them feel uncomfortable. With you pull people in because they can tell how authentic you are, like how transparent you are. You're not saying things just to say them. You're being real, and people gravitate to you because they can say, like they relate with you. They're like, oh my God, it's like a breath of fresh air when they're around you because of the relatability.
Yeah, it just seems like even though I may not know you at all, never talked to you in my life, you're able to be vulnerable and share information that I'm like, wow, they felt in the liberty to share all that with me.
She'll literally be standing in the store, standing at the gas station, and people just start pouring out their whole life story because of just the energy and vibe you're ready to give
and
off.
I think that it's because they know that I'm willing to listen and I'm also willing to be vulnerable with them. So
I think too many people are scared to be vulnerable and they want to only show the best parts of themselves and leave the rest out. But in many cases, what you consider to be the worst part is actually the best parts if you truly work on them and tap into them. What are you known for? Think about it, like reflect on it, do the exercises she mentioned, like drop some comments below on things that come to mind that maybe even stand out to you about other people, right? What stands out to you about yourself that you can now take this and build on it and go to the next level? So definitely thank you, Roger, for being the person that you are. And thank you, Corletha, for even sharing it. Because unfortunately, I feel like even when people are doing the nice things and going above and beyond, sometimes they don't really get the recognition. So for some people, it makes them stop. For other people, it makes them still keep going. Like, I know I'm doing the right thing. I'm going to keep doing it anyway. But I think it's important for the people that are doing the right thing to give them a little bit of praise, to say, thank you, Roger. I don't know how many people really tell him in person of how great of a job he's actually doing. So definitely, Corlelia, even for you shouting it out, for to even give us the opportunity to now do a whole podcast about it is absolutely amazing. When people mess up, now you want to say, don't do this, don't do that, or you should have done it this way. Same thing with kids. Every time they mess up, don't do it this way. You shouldn't do it this way. But when they do something good, don't say, well, that's how you're supposed to do it anyway. No, good job.
Yeah,
That's
give
what I'm
people
talking
praise
about.
for the things that they do right.
Yeah, which makes them want to do it more. Don't do things and put all of the emphasis on the bad parts. Let's praise people for doing the right thing. On that note, that's the end of the podcast, Newberry Fitness family. We'll be back again before you know it.
See you.
See ya.